So good morning. In our last class, we were discussing some of the applications of vectors in understanding electric fields and electric forces. I have told you, electric field and electric force being vector quantities obeys the laws of vector algebra. So, while evaluating the electric fields and electric forces, you must make use of either parallelogram law of vector addition or triangle law of vector addition or the polygon law of vector addition. I have told you, if two electric fields, say E1 and E2, are acting at some point P. So at point P, two electric fields E1 and E2 are acting at some angle, say theta. Theta is the angle between E1 and E2. Then the net electric field at point P will not be E1 plus E2. Algebraic sum iralla. Electric field being vector quantity, you cannot add the electric fields acting at a point. Algebraically, you cannot do that. Instead, in order to find the net electric field at point P, you must make use of the parallelogram law of vector addition. According to parallelogram law of vector addition, the resultant of these two vectors will be given by E net is equals to square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta. This is the formula using which you can calculate the resultant of these two electric fields, right? So, resultant electric field E net will be given by square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta, where theta is the angle between E1 and E2. Force ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ suppose if these are the two forces F1 F2 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ resultant force is given by F net is equals to square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta, right? So this is how you need to evaluate electric field strength and electric force. As a extension of this, if two electric fields acting at a point are equal in their magnitudes, two electric fields acting at a point are equal in their magnitude. Suppose at point P, two electric fields, say E1 and E2 acts. At point P, there is an action of two electric fields E1 and E2, and let us suppose both the electric fields have equal magnitude. E1 the value ಎಷ್ಟದು E2 the value ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದೇ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ if E1 is equals to E2 is equals to E, if the magnitude of E1 is equals to magnitude of E2 and if they are equal to E, E1 10 Newton per coulomb, E2 ಕೂಡ 10 Newton per coulomb ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ what is the resultant of these two electric fields? What is the resultant of these two electric fields? See, whenever you are calculating resultant of two electric fields, you must also take into account the angle between the electric fields. You know, if both the electric fields are acting in the same direction, so the angle between the two electric fields must be equal to 0 degree. The angle between two electric fields is equal to 0 degree. Hagadre resultant electric field in this case will be E net is equals to square root of E1 square. E1 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ E, so E square plus E2 square. E2 is also E square plus 2 E1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ E, E2 E, E1 E2 cos theta. Okay, so E net will be equal to square root of E square plus E square, 2E square plus 2 E into E is E square, E into E square. Cos theta is 0 in this case. Cos 0 will be 1. Cos 0 will be 1. So E net will be equal to square root of 2E square plus 2E square is 4E square. Square root of 4E square is 2E. So if two electric fields of equal magnitude, E1 ಎಷ್ಟದು E2 ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ರೆ, if two electric fields of equal magnitude are acting in the same direction, then resultant of these two electric fields will be equal to 2E. Resultant of those two electric fields will be equal to 2E. Andre, if two electric fields are acting in the same direction, you can directly add them. Vectorially ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ, right? So if two electric fields E1 and E2 whose magnitudes are equal are acting in the same direction, then the resultant electric field will be equal to 2E. Resultant electric field will be equal to 2E. Suppose if two electric fields, say 10 Newton per coulomb and 10 Newton per coulomb, are acting at a point P in same direction, then the resultant electric field will be the sum of these two electric fields. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ you will get 2E. ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು 2E ಬರ್ತದೆ. So this will be 20 Newton per coulomb. Resultant electric field will be 20 Newton per coulomb. Remember these rules. This will be helpful. Next problems ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, right? This is the first case. Suppose two electric fields E1 and E2 whose magnitudes are equal are acting at an angle of say 30 degree with each other. See, E1 and E2 are the two vectors acting at a point, and let the angle between these two be 30 degrees. However, what will be the resultant? You must remember this standard result. If two vectors are acting at an angle of 30 degree, what will be the resultant of these two vectors? That must be remembered. See, E1 and E2 are equal and they are equal to E. However, E net will be square root of E1 square plus E2 square. E1 E2 is equal to E. Sir, E1 ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ E2 ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ E1 E equal ಅದೇ, E2 E equal ಅದೇ. So E1 square plus E2 square plus 2 E1 E2 cos. What is the angle between the two vectors? 30 degree. Cos 30 degrees. You know what is cos 30? See, this will be E square plus A square 2E square plus 2 E into E square. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. This 2 and this 2 gets cancelled out. So it will be now left out with E net is equals to square root of 2E square plus root 3E square, 2E square plus root 3E square. You can take the E square as the common factor in the E square common value. You can write it as 2 plus root 3 square root of E square into 2 plus root 3. E net will be equal to square root of E square is E into square root of this term we will left out as it is. ಈ term with square root ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ you can write it as 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. Square root can be written as power 1 by 2. Take E square outside. Square root of E square will be E. Square root of E square will be E. 2 plus root 3 square root ಹಾಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Root 2 plus root 3 can be written as 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. So, if two vectors whose magnitudes are equal are acting at an angle of 30 degree, then the net electric field or resultant electric field will be E net is equal to E into 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. E into 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. You must remember these results, right? So this is for 30 degrees. Suppose if two vectors, say E1 vector and E2 vector, whose magnitudes are equal to E, are acting at an angle of 45 degrees. If they are acting at an angle of 45 degrees, then what will be the resultant? Resultant in afternoon. If they are acting at an angle of 45 degrees, E net is equals to E1 square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2 E1 E2 cos 45. So e square plus e square is 2e square plus 2e square into cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So we can further evaluate this as e net is equals to square root of 2e square as it is very plus 2 can be written as root 2 whole square. E 2 na root 2 whole square anta bardini into 1 by root 2. Okay. This 2 is written as root 2 whole square into e square into 1 by root 2. Sir, 2 na ಯಾಕೆ root 2 whole square ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದೇರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ root 2 ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು root 2 ಗೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Denominator na root avalla that can be cancelled out. Root 1 root 2 gets cancelled out. So we will be now left out with e net is equals to square root of 2e square plus root 2e square. 2e square plus root 2e square. So e net is equals to ಇವೆರಡರಿಂದ e square ಕಾಮನ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. Square root of e square will be e into square root of 2 plus root 2 will be left out. Square root of 2 plus root 2 can be written as e into square root of 2 plus root 2 can be written as 2 plus root 2 power 1 by 2. So if two vectors are acting at an angle of 45 degree, then the resultant of those two vectors will be e net is equals to e into square root of 2 plus root 2. Force idre f net is equals to f into square root of 2 plus root 2. Momentum is also vector quantity. Momentum idre p net is equals to p into square root of 2 plus root 2. These rules can be applied in general to all vectors provided both the vectors are of equal magnitude. ಎರಡು ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಈ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅನ್ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ you go for the general formula square root of e1 square plus e2 square plus 2e1 e2 cos theta ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. If both the vectors are of equal magnitude, then you can remember these results. The results ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. If two vectors are acting in same direction, that is if the angle between two vectors is 0, resultant electric field will be 2e. If they are acting at 30 degree, resultant electric field will be e net is equals to e into root 3 plus 2 power 1 by 2. If they are acting at 45 degrees, e net will be e into square root of 2 plus root 2. If they are acting at 60 degrees, if the two vectors are acting at 60 degrees, suppose the two vectors are acting at 60 degrees, then resultant electric field will be square root of e square plus 2e into cos 60. We know what is cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled out. So e net will be equal to square root of 2e square plus 1e square. 2 to cancel out. 2e square plus 1e square is 3e square. So e net will be equal to square root of 3e square is root 3e. Square root of 3e square is root 3e. So if two electric fields whose magnitudes are equal are acting at an angle of 60 degrees, then the resultant electric field will be root 3e. If the vectors are the forces kottidre, if the forces are acting at 60 degree, resultant force will be F net is equals to root 3F. F net is equals to root 3F. If the vectors given are momentum kottidre, P net is equals to root 3P. So if the two vectors whose magnitude are equal are acting at an angle of 60 degree, then the resultant will be in general E net is equals to root 3 times E. These are the standard results. Next triangle square problem anta gottagtide yake idu madistidini anta, right? Suppose if the two vectors are acting at right angles, if the two vectors are acting at right angles, e1 vector and e2 vector, suppose if they are acting at right angles and if their magnitudes are equal, if e1 is equals to e2 is equals to e, then the resultant will be square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2 E1 E2 cos 90. We know what is cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. 0 into anything is 0. Only this term vanish ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Correct ಅಲ್ಲ? 0 into anything will be 0. This term vanish ಆಯ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ you are now just left out with square root of E square plus E square. Square root of E square plus E square is 2E square. Square root of 2E square is root 2 times E. So, if two electric fields are acting at right angles to each other, then the resultant of these two electric fields will be root 2E. Resultant of these two electric fields will be root 2E. Right? Suppose if the two electric fields are acting at 120 degrees. Suppose the two electric fields are acting at 120 degrees. The angle between the two electric fields is 120. If it is equal to 120 degrees, then resultant electric field will be E net is equals to E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos theta. Theta is 120. We know what is cos 120. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. So it will be E square plus E square, 2E square plus 2 E square into E square. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. Cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled out. So you will be now left out with E net is equals to square root of 2E square plus into minus. We 2 to cancel out. Plus into minus minus E square. Minus E square. So square root of 2E square minus E square is E square. So E net will be equal to E. Square root of E square is E. So if two electric fields E1 and E2 whose magnitudes are equal to E are acting at an angle of 120 degrees, then the resultant will be equal to E. Andre, if 10 Newton per coulomb and 10 Newton per coulomb electric field are acting at an angle of 120 degree, resultant of these two electric fields will also be 10 Newton per coulomb. E resultant will also be E if the angle between the two vectors is 120 degree. Resultant will be equal to E. So you must know what is the resultant of two vectors when they are acting at one particular angle. And the last case is what is the resultant of two vectors when they are acting at 180 degrees. Suppose two electric fields are acting at a point E1 and E2. These are the two electric fields acting at a point, but in the opposite direction. E1 is pointing along positive x-axis and E2 is pointing along negative x-axis. Angle between them is 180 degrees. Then what is the resultant of these two vectors? Here vector the resultant that must be evaluated. So if they are equal magnitude, it will be square root of E1 square plus E2 square plus 2E1 E2 cos 180 degrees. Cos 180, right? We know that cos 180 is minus 1. Cos 180 degrees minus 1. So this will be square root of E square plus E square is 2E square plus into minus 2E square. So this will be 0. So if two equal vectors are acting in opposite directions, then the net electric field will be 0. If two electric fields whose magnitude are equal, but if they are acting in opposite directions, then the net electric field acting at that point will be 0. Suppose at point P, two electric fields, each equal to 10 Newton per coulomb, are acting, but in the opposite direction. Then what is the net electric field at this point? Zero. The net electric field at this point is zero. So these are some of the standard rules which you must remember as far as vectors are concerned. So if we have to sum up, if two electric fields are acting in the same direction, theta is equal to 0, then net electric field will be 2E. If two electric fields are acting in the same direction, E and B, they are acting in the same direction, then net electric field will be 2E. If theta is equal to 30 degrees, net electric field will be E times 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. That is, if two electric fields E and E are acting at 30 degrees, then resultant of those two electric fields will be E into 2 plus root 3 power 1 by 2. If they are acting at 45 degrees, E net will be equal to E into 2 plus root 2 power 1 by 2. If two electric fields are acting at 45 degrees, resultant of those two electric fields will be E into 2 plus root 2 power 1 by 2. If they are acting at 60 degrees, E net will be equal to root 3E. 60 degree root 3E will be the resultant electric field. If they are acting at 90 degrees, net electric field will be root 2E. Net electric field will be root 2E. If the electric fields are acting at 120 degree, net electric field will be equal to E. Net electric field will be equal to E. If they are acting at 180 degrees, net electric field will be equal to 0. Remember these rules. You ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ next ಮಾಡೋ problems ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. Right? And these must be used only if the electric fields acting at a point are of equal magnitude. One electric field 10 ಇದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು electric field 10 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ per coulomb ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ರೂಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Right? Sir, ಇವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ? Where do we use these rules ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ we come across problems that involve arrangement of charge at the vertices of a triangle and a square. Triangle vertices ಹತ್ರ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ವರ್ಟೈಸಸ್ ಹತ್ರನೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದಟ್ three charges of equal magnitude, Q, Q and Q are placed at the vertices A, B and C of an equilateral triangle. See, three charges each of magnitude Q are placed at the three vertices A, B and C of an equilateral triangle. You will be asked to find the force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. Question ಏನು? You need to find out the net force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. B ಮತ್ತೆ C ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಂದ A ಮೇಲೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Will be asked to find out net force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. This must be done. ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ? You are asked to find out the force. Electric force is to be determined. Remember, electric force is a vector quantity. So you must make use of the vector laws to evaluate this. Okay, after all understanding, you need to make use of vector laws to evaluate forces. You must know what is the force between two charges given by. What is the force between two charges given by? Let us suppose the sides of the triangle is equal to R. ಇದರದ್ದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಆರದೆ, ಇದರದ್ದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಆರದೆ, ಇದರದ್ದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಆರದೆ. ಈಕ್ವಿಲಾಟರಲ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ? 60 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ? 60 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ? 60 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ? According to Coulomb's law, electric force is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. q1 q2 equal magnitude ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ q1 q2 will be q square divided by r square. ಇವೆರಡು ಮಧ್ಯ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 1 by 4 pi epsilon q square by r square. ಇವೆರಡು ಮಧ್ಯ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 1 by 4 pi epsilon q square divided by r square. ಓಕೆ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ. ಹೌ ಟು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ದ ನೆಟ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. Remember, force is a vector quantity. So you must take into account both the magnitude as well as the direction of the force. You are now asked to find out force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. Okay, we'll first find out force on charge at A due to charge at B. ಈ B ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ A ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? The charge at B is positive. Charge at A is also positive. Then charge at B will repel charge at A or attract charge at A. It will repel charge at A or attract charge at A. ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. We know that electric force is a central force. Electric force is a central force. Electric force always acts along line joining centers of two charges. ಈ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅವೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ q1 q2, q1 will exert force on q2. How does the force act ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ force acts along line joining two charges, line joining centers of two charges. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. Electric force is a central force. Electric force always acts along line joining centers of two charges. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನ ಈ ರೀತಿ ರಿಪೆಲ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ. This is the force on charge at A due to charge at B. This is the direction of the force on charge at A due to charge at B. One thing is clear. Next, ನಮಗೆ ಬರೆ force on charge at A due to charge at B ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. Instead we are asked to find out force on charge at A due to charge at B as well as C. ಇದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಈ ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಂದ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಾರೆ. ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ ಮೂರನೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿರೋದು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ charge at C is also positive. So charge at C should also repel charge at A. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಸರ್ F ಮತ್ತೆ F ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತೀರಿ, ಇದನ್ನ F1 ಇದನ್ನ F2 ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದಲ್ಲ? ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ನೋಡಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನು 1 by 4 pi epsilon q square by r square. ಇವೆರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 1 by 4 pi epsilon q square divided by r square. Forces are equal, so I have written them as F and L. So two forces are acting at a point and we see that the two forces are equal. Can you decide the angle between the two forces? ಈ ಎರಡು forces ಮಧ್ಯೆ angle decide ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? This angle is 60 degree. So this angle must also be 60 degree because these two are vertically opposite angles. Can you tell me the resultant of these two forces? ಈ ಎರಡು forces the resultant ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? Two forces are acting at a point at an angle of 60 degree. So what should be the resultant of these two forces? ಈ ಎರಡು forces the resultant ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Two forces are acting at an angle of 60 degree. Both the forces are equal in magnitude. What should be the resultant of these two forces? What should be the resultant of these two forces? The resultant of these two forces must be F root 3 or root 3F over. The resultant of these two forces will be F net is equals to root 3F, or you can also write F net is equals to root 3 times. We know what is the force between two charges. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by r square. This will be the answer. root 3f. That will be the answer. A similar situation may be of this kind. You will be said that three charges are arranged at the corners of an equilateral triangle. Say A, B and C are the vertices of a triangle. Let us suppose a positive charge is placed at A and equal negative charge is placed at B and an equal positive charge is placed at C. Arrangement of charges, three charges are arranged at the corners of an equilateral triangle. The charge at A is plus Q, charge at B is minus Q, and charge at C is plus Q again. You will be asked to find out force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. You need to find out force on charge at A due to charge at B and C. First thing, whether the force between B and A, C and A will be equal or not. That must be analyzed. See, this is an equilateral triangle, so all the sides will be equal and the angles will be 60 degree each. Angle between any two sides will be 60 degrees. Tell me whether the force between A and B and A and C be equal or not. Magnitude of force equal irthuda illa adunu first decide madkolli. Force between A and B, force between charges at A and C, whether they will be equal or not. See, magnitude of the force is to be decided. I have told you, whenever you are calculating the force, you just need to take the magnitude of the charge. You are not supposed to take the sign. You are to look at force 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square divided by r square, q1 q2 by r square. You are to look at 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 divided by r square. The magnitude of the force will be equal. Magnitude of the force will be equal. Okay. Then decide the direction of the force. See, the charge at C is positive and charge at A is also positive. So charge at C should repel charge at A in this direction. This must be the direction of force exerted by charge at C on charge at A, repulsive. On the other hand, charge at B should actually attract charge at A. Charge at B is negative, charge at A is positive. So charge at B will attract the charge at A. Will attract the charge at A. So even this is F. Force between these two is F. Force between these two is also F. This is repulsive and this is attractive. Can you tell me the angle between these two forces? Can you tell me the angle between these two forces? E force matte E force madhye angle estade heltira. Can you tell me the angle between the two forces? Very good. See, this is a straight line. This is a straight line. Total angle of straight line must be 180 degree. Illage 60 degree agide antandre idu 120 degree irbeku. Athwa you can also use exterior angle property. Exterior angle will be equal to sum of opposite interior angles. Ee triangle ABC is exterior angle agtade. So exterior angle will be sum of opposite interior angles. So this will be 120 degree. Then can you tell me what will be the resultant of these two forces? This is F. This is also F. Two forces F and F are acting at an angle of 120 degree. What should be the resultant? The resultant of these two forces must be F again. Resultant of these two forces must be F again. See, this is how the vectors must be made use. ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಥವಾ f1 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ f2 ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2f1 f2 cos theta theta substitute ಮಾಡಿ it becomes too lengthy. Just remember those standard rules, will be able to solve this kind of problems. here is an right angle triangle. Let us suppose three charges Q1, Q2 and Q3 are arranged at the vertices of the right angle triangle. Let us suppose the vertices of this right angle triangle are A, B and C. Now look at the charges. The magnitude of the charges are entirely different. This is Q1, this is Q2 and this is Q3. So force between charge at A and B will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R1 square. Force between A and C will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 divided by R3 square. Force between B and C will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 Q3 divided by R2 square. Right? So the forces here are totally different.